everyone, and welcome back to Sprinkle with Paper. Today I'm going to be sharing another easy cake topper tutorial. I'll be sharing one of my new favorite fonts, and I'll also be giving away a cake topper at the end of this video, so stick around to find out how you could win this cake topper in any color of your choice. Let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start by going to cricutdesignspace.com and opening up a new project. Today I'm going to be making a Make-A-Wish cake topper. I love using this phrase because it works for any age and any gender. All you need to do is just switch the color of the paper that you're cutting on and it works for everyone. To add in your wording, just go over to text and type in Make-A-Wish. From here, I'm going to go up to Font and search for my new font, Salica. This is a new font that I downloaded for free at dafont.com. If you'd like to download this font into Cricut Design Space, just go up to your search bar and type in Salica font. From there, one of the first things that will pop up is this font at dafont.com. Now just click download and the font file will be downloaded onto your computer. To finish installing the font onto your computer, you're going to open up the file that you just downloaded from dafont.com and you're going to select Install Font. Now the font will be downloaded onto your computer, and once you refresh your browser or restart your computer, when you go back to cricutdesignspace.com, you'll find the Salica font with all the rest of your font selections. Now that we have our Make-A-Wish wording and our new font, we're going to ungroup the letters. So go up to Ungroup, and now you'll be able to move each letter individually. So this is one of the most important parts about making a cake topper, is making sure that each of the letters is not only touching but slightly overlapping. And also, you want to make sure that you're bringing the letters in nice and close. You don't want too much space between the letters because it will become more flimsy. But you also don't want to make the letters too close to where you can no longer read what the word says. Another thing to pay close attention to in creating a cake topper are for floating letters or symbols. So as you can see here, the I, the little dot, is floating above. So we're going to want to separate that so we can attach that little dot down onto the I, so it's just one single piece. And I'm going to go over to Shapes and select a circle. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller so it will fit directly over the dot over the I. I'm going to highlight the whole thing, and I'm going to select Slice. I'm going to delete all of the extra pieces. And then I'm going to go back over to Shapes and select another circle. I'm going to resize it and then just place it onto the little eye exactly where I'd like it. Select the whole thing and click Weld. Another thing I like to do when I'm adjusting my letters is sometimes I'll go in and I'll turn them a little bit just so I could get the exact look that I'm going for. Now I'm going to select all the letters of the word wish, so I can now move it as one single piece without welding it together. So I'm going to move it up to the words make and A and place it kind of where I think it should go, and then I will deselect the word wish and just by clicking out of it, and now I can highlight the whole thing, make a wish, and make it a little bit larger so I have a better view of what I'm working with. And from here, I'm going to move each of the letters so they're each touching in at least 1 to 2 spots. This is important to make sure you're making your cake topper as sturdy as possible. Once I think I have the correct placement for my letters, a little tip is to change the font color to a lighter color. That way you can see exactly where each of the letters are overlapping, and you're ensuring that your cake topper is going to cut as one single piece. Now I'm going to select the whole thing and click Weld. To finish off this cake topper, I'm going to add a candle. So I'm going to go over to Objects and I'm going to search for birthday candle. Now this is one area of Cricut Design Space that I think could use some improving. As you can see, when I type in the word birthday candle, there are a ton of images that pop up, and not all of them are candles and not all of them are birthday related. It's kind of just some random clip art. So you kind of have to scroll down a ways to really find what you're looking for. But once I find a birthday candle that I think will work, I'm just going to click on it and I'm going to insert it into my project. Now that I have the candle clip art back onto my project page, I like the shape of the candle, but I still need to change some things to make it work for my cake topper. So I'm going to delete some of these layers by clicking the little eye. And then I'm just going to be left with 2 layers. So for the candle, I know that I like the outline of the candle, and I also know that I want the flame of the candle to be filled in, because if I don't fill it in, it's going to be too flimsy on the cake topper when I go to cut it. So to do this, there's going to be a couple extra steps, but it's actually very easy. So I'm just going to ungroup the 2 layers of the candle, and then I'm going to use one of my shapes. So I'm going to go over and select shape and select the square. And I'm going to place the square over the bottom part of the candle, because I'm going to use the square as a cookie cutter to cut off that bottom piece. So I'm going to select the whole thing and click slice. And now I can just delete those bottom pieces of the candle that I no longer need. Now you can layer the flame in the outline of the candle, and you could weld the 2 together. So this is almost perfect, except there's this tiny little spot down at the bottom where the flame and the bottom of the candle connect. So you could leave it as is, or if you're a perfectionist like me, you can go over to your shapes again and grab another square and just resize it so it'll fit that little spot, and then place it exactly where it needs to go. Select the candle and your little piece and click weld. And now you have the perfect candle. Now we're going to resize our candle and place it over on our Make-A-Wish wording. And once we like the way that it looks and we are making sure that it's touching in as many places as possible, then we're going to select the whole thing and click weld. The last thing we need to do to complete this design is change the size so it fits nicely onto our cake. So I'm going to be placing this on a 7-inch round cake, so I'm going to change the width to 6.5. I'm going to save my project, and then I'm going to select Make It. The items I'll be using today to complete the cake topper are my Cricut mat, Recollections hot pink glitter paper found at Michael's, masking tape, bamboo sticks I found on Amazon, I'll link them down below, my hot glue gun, and also some Hot Shot spray paint. I'll be using the spray paint to paint the tops of the sticks to match the paper and to also give it a more polished look. A little tip for preparing your mat is to be aware of where the sticker is. You don't want to cut over the sticker because you don't want a barcode on the back of your cake topper. I also like to use masking tape to secure the paper down to the mat if I'm using an older mat that's not quite as sticky as it used to be. I'm going to set the dial on my Cricut machine to custom, and I'm going to select the glitter cardstock setting. And a little tip, if you're using the Recollections brand from Michael's, go on up and select more, and that way, since it's such a thick paper, it will just give it a deeper cut and it'll be a lot easier to lift off of your mat. Now it's time for the fun part. So carefully pull back your paper and then just bend your mat back and forth to kind of loosen up your design. I tried to use the little spatula that comes with my Cricut tools as little as possible because I find once I start using it, it does sometimes mess up the back of my paper. And since this is a cake topper and you're going to be seeing the back of the design, I try to use it as little as possible. Now just remove your tape from your stick and figure out where you would like to place it on the back of your cake topper. I typically like to place my stick somewhere in the middle because I find that it gives it the most stability. I'm going to cut my stick just a little bit shorter and then I'm going to attach it with some hot glue. Give it a second to dry, and there you have it, the perfect Make-A-Wish cake topper. If you'd like a chance to win this cake topper in any color of your choice, please just give this video a thumbs up and also leave me a comment letting me know which color you would choose if you win, and also if you are a store-bought or a homemade cake type of person. I'll be picking the winner using random.org, and I'll be announcing the winner in next Wednesday's cake topper tutorial. Thanks so much for watching, and happy crafting!